So as October's wrapping up, we have one more trading day, and now we're getting into November. I know this year went by freaking fast. I want to go over 5 oversold stocks that I'm looking at. We're going to break down my plans with these stocks, what I'm doing, and of course, we're going to go over the charts, kind of the breakdown overall. So sit back, relax, take a sip of your coffee, and let's not waste any time. Oh, wait, actually, let's waste some time. You might as well hit that like button, which maybe is not a waste of time. Hit that subscribe button as well while you're at it. And if you want some free money, which definitely isn't a waste of time, you can get $10 free guaranteed for Moomoo plus 15 up to 15 stocks, each up to $2,000. So if you guys want some free money, use that link down below, and you could also get 12 stocks from Webull. And now let's dive into the video. So you guys know at this point, SPY is on the verge of breaking out of 390, which we'll talk more about tomorrow in my Sunday video. But for today's video, let's quickly look at it. It's about to break out of 390, and this is a big point for this week. If this point is able to break, obviously we're going to have, at least in the very short term, a rally in the stock market, which then would bring up, obviously, a lot of individual stocks, which we're going to talk about here in this video. So for this upcoming week, to keep it very, very brief and simple, 390 on the upside is what we have to watch out for. So I'm going to set my alert there. Mark is at or above 390, which again is on SPY here, which tracks the S&P 500, and Triple Q, which tracks the NASDAQ 100. My alert is already set at $285 a share. Not only was that resistance pretty much all week last week, but also from the beginning of this month of October, from about 3.5 weeks ago. So if this is able to break 285 on Triple Q, we might have some more upside. And again, these stocks that we're going to talk about today and a bunch of other stocks could be going up even more. So with that being said, guys, again, I don't want to talk too much about the overall markets in this video. I want to get into these stocks. So the first one is Costco, ticker symbol COST, which I'm not sure if you guys caught, but last week it had a very big week, and a pretty solid day on Friday alone. I think on Friday it went up about 3%, up $14 on the day. And look at this. If I zoom in on the 4-hour chart, what you guys are noticing is it is finally starting to break out. And it's above the moving averages here for the first time since the beginning of September. So that's a good sign. The fact that we broke over 500, we're taking out these moving averages now. This is a good sign that Costco's starting to gain momentum again. And if we look here at the chart, we do have some key points coming up. And mind you, they reported earnings already, so we don't have to worry about earnings coming up and that maybe screwing up the short-term price action, as a lot of the time it has been with some of these companies these days. Meta being one, down 25%. Google, the list goes on, right? But Costco, earnings are out of the way. We've been running up on after earnings, and you can see here, yes, technically, and this kind of goes against the title of the video, oversold stocks. Technically, this is a little overbought, just according to the RSI. But RSI is not the only thing you have to look at. You have to actually look here at the chart. I mean, this chart shows that even though it's a little overbought on the RSI, we are breaking out of the moving averages. We're gaining momentum. Volume starting to spike up a little bit here. Who cares about the RSI? This could be pushing towards mid-500s, no doubt about it, which means technically, I guess it's still oversold at this point, even though the RSI is overbought, if that makes any sense, because there could be way more upside in the short term. This gap here could fill towards 540, 535, and that could be another 3-4% to the upside here on Costco. Now, at that point, if it does successfully break out towards the mid-500s, that's going to be a point of resistance, no doubt about it. You guys can see here, that's going to be a sticking point. Then if that were to break, all right, maybe we start going towards 600 at that point, but we're not there yet. So keep that in mind. Costco is the first one for this week, COST. Another one that I'm looking at is Snowflake, SNOW, which this on the RSI is actually pretty oversold. It's down to about 35, 37 here on the 4-hour chart RSI. And we're noticing last week on Thursday and Friday, we had two back-to-back pretty nasty red days for this stock. And on Friday, it went down 5.5%, down about $10. But as I say that, it is still holding an uptrend. You guys see that here, right? On the 4-hour, we're holding higher lows, one at 110, 125, 150, about 152. Now we're at about 160. So as long as we're holding this trend, there could be a potential bounce back on Snowflake. I'm not saying it's going to go all the way to all-time highs or anything crazy like that in the short term, but could it go from 160 to the top of the wedge here, maybe 175, 180, maybe it even breaks the wedge out in due time, or breaks out of the wedge in due time? That is totally possible. And for that reason, guys, it's holding the uptrend. Again, that is a big reason why I'm watching it heading into this week. And even though we got destroyed on Friday and Thursday, you can kind of see a little bit of consolidation on the stock at about 160. It's fighting a hold there. It's not fully breaking out yet, which is what we have to watch for on the 5-day, 5-minute chart now that I'm looking at it, if it breaks these moving averages. And again, if it does, after this little consolidation period at 160, if we break out of there maybe at some point this week, that's where we could start getting that move going back to the 4-hour chart, which could be anywhere to the mid-170s, maybe even 180, which at that point, that's going to be a big test for this stock. So the next one on the list, let me pull out my phone here, guys, is Etsy, which is actually reporting earnings this upcoming week. And make sure you guys subscribe, because tomorrow we have a bunch of companies, more companies to talk about, all of which are going to be reporting earnings this week. And if you think last week was a big earnings week, well, you're right. But this week, I'm not going to say it's going to be a bigger week, but it's also a very important earnings week coming up. We have companies like AMD, just a bunch. Etsy, I think Roku, and just a bunch of other big names that now that off the top of my head, I'm forgetting. But overall, Etsy at this point went down 3% on Friday. It traded right under and closed right under the moving averages. But what we can see is we're starting to get some buying pressure, some support in the mid-high 90s. And if this breaks back over 100, which right now is pretty oversold on the RSI, if we break back over 100 on this thing, we could end up seeing maybe a pop towards the top of the channel, which could put it anywhere from 108, 110, and that's going to be a big spot for Etsy as well. Then it could turn into a breakout stock if it ends up going above 110, which would then mean it's breaking out of the downwards channel. So Etsy's earnings are on the 2nd, which I believe is on Wednesday. So watch out for that after the bell here on Wednesday for Etsy. Then we also have Palantir this week, I believe. Is Palantir this week or next week? Let me double check. It might be next week, actually. That might be my mistake, guys. They're on the 7th. So what day is that? Maybe next Friday? Or not next Friday. No, that's not. That's going to be probably the following week. Anyway, Palantir is reporting earnings. Is that on a Monday, potentially? Maybe on a Tuesday. Either way, Palantir is reporting, and look at what's setting up right here. This, if I zoom in, you guys can see, is an ascending triangle. Look at this. Even though Palantir stock, in the grand scheme of things, has been destroyed in the past couple of months, there's no doubt about it, in the very short term here, if I zoom in, again, we have an ascending triangle. Higher lows have been made since the end of September, pretty much, so that's a little over a month. And since the beginning of this month, October, we've been seeing resistance at 850 to about 875, which happens to be where we close on Friday. So if this thing breaks out of, let's say, 875, I'll put my alert there right now. Mark is at or above $8.75. We could end up seeing a breakout on Palantir. Now, am I saying it's going to go all the way back to 40, which I think is the all-time high, right around 40, 45? Probably not in the short term. I doubt it. I'd put my life savings on it that it would not hit that in the short term. But, could it go to, let's say, $10, $11, especially if earnings surprise? I mean, it could. Technically, it could. Look at this. The next gap that we could fill is probably towards 950 initially, but then if that were to break, we have upside to 10.25 on Palantir. So you guys got to watch it, seriously. And another one here that I'm looking at, which I have covered on the channel a lot recently, but I want to bring it to your attention. Again, put it on your radar. It is Chewy, ticker symbol CHWI. And you can see Chewy is not necessarily extremely oversold like we saw, oversold like the first stock we talked about, which is Costco. But in the grand scheme of things, it is down still about $12 from the recent highs just about 2.5 months ago. In other words, it's still in a bear market, down 24%. And it's reversing in real time. It is reversing, guys. it is right around $39.50. We broke out of the moving averages last week. We have a golden cross, and we have this inverse head and shoulders that I've been talking about on the channel. You can see it here, left shoulder head, right shoulder. There's more upside in this. There's more upside. I'm not saying it's going to go in a straight line all the way to 50, but could it have ups and downs for the next couple of months to 50? I think it could. And this is opening up as a pretty nice swing trade by the looks of it, at least based on the way I look at things, right? And for you, it might be different. It probably is different, which is fine. I'm not, I'm not God or anything crazy like that, but hey, we all have our opinions, right? And this is mine. So with that being said, I'm going to wrap the video up. If you enjoyed it, hit that like button. Feel free to subscribe. And don't forget, I have a second channel called Stas Talks Money. I talk about general finance topics on there, more than just stock market content. So if you guys want to see that, go to the link down below, or just go to YouTube, type in Stas Talks Money. I think I have like 15, 20 videos on there. Go check them out. They're pretty good, different from what we see here, you see here. And don't forget to get your $10 plus up to 15 stocks for Moomoo, each up to $2,000. All you got to do is use that link down below or go to StasSurFast.com/Moomoo. And you get some free money, guys. Deposit at least $100. Boom. And it also helps out the channel. I appreciate you guys as always. And with that being said, cheers. I will catch you in the next video. Peace out.